Hey Balenci friends, welcome back to another new video. Today I'm super excited to show you guys some propagations, something that I have already been propagating for a while and something that I just recently did. But I don't know, like I think it's super duper fun to propagate plants because it's just a free and exciting way to make more plants. You know, like there's just so many benefits of like propagating plants. You can grow your collection, you can make new plants to sell and get some money out of it. You can make new plants and give them to your friends or just for the fun of it. So I think all of this is just a mix of like all of that. For example, this I'm propagating because I do want more of this beautiful Tradescancia in a nuke and this other fun Tradescancia. I just recently placed this in water like a couple of days ago. I don't see any roots right now, but it's just in this mason jar. And yeah, these Tradescancias were like really like bad, like they were just like not okay, like they were like almost rotting off. I'm not sure what's happening. And I got the Tradescancia from Plantarina, which is this one. Honestly, it looks pretty good and I'm super excited for it to grow and hopefully thrive in my hands. But I always recommend whenever you get plants from companies or just in general, it's great to make plant insurance, which is basically like you get the plant, you take like one node cuttings or like a few cuttings, like one or as many cuttings as you want, and you have some backups just in case some other plant dies. It's okay, you got a backup. That's what I'm doing with this Tradescancia, and then this other Tradescancia in the nuke. I just want to know because it looks really pretty and I really do like it a lot. Like it's just so pretty. It is pretty common in the big box stores now. Like back then it was like so trendy, so close to farm like made it more easily accessible for us. And now it's a very common basic houseplant, but I think it's so beautiful and it's just so striking. Like I love the pink stripes. It's very beautiful. Like I really do love it, and it's pretty to look after as well. And we're gonna see if it's pretty to propagate because the mother plant now it is on its original nursery pot, but I actually gave the mother plant to my mom. I took a few cuttings and I ended up getting a pot. It was sitting well because I just finished watering some plants. And notice that, I don't know, when people see like some plants sitting in water, they got like triggered. They're like, oh my god, you're gonna give it root rot. Personally, I know my limits, and I don't know, like, yes, there are some plants that I would never let sitting in water, but plants like my Tradescancia or my Picana, I actually let it sit in water. Like whenever I water it, I let the saucers to fill it with water and I don't mind it at all. Plants like this one with the Picana, or like the Frankie, for example, which I'm not propagating, but just to show what I'm talking about. This guy, this rides up like crazy, and I promise you this was sitting in water for like a couple of days already, and now it's getting bone dry, which means I need to go and this is really bad. It's getting very leggy. It's because it's in a very inconsistent watering. Some people have suggested some self-watering pots, which honestly I do want to look into. Yeah, this is the cuttings that I did, and now the reason why I chopped it as well is because I want to get more bushy. Whenever you chop a cutting, it's majority of the time it makes the plant produce more shoots, which gives it a more bushier look. And I want this to be more bushy. And well, that, and then I get more plants, more Tradescancia nukes, which are literally so pretty. Next up, I have this Jade Skin. I have a couple, and I gave one to my boyfriend, which his is doing super duper good. But this is my Jade Skin. This girl, which I think she watches my videos a while back, but she was super duper sweet. I gave her a variegated heartleaf philodendron, and she gave me, to be fair, this is like, it looks bad, but this is not like, this is not her fault. This is literally just completely me, and I know that I was putting myself at risk. Like there was a chance that it was not gonna root or just struggle. I'm not a pro Scindapsus. I have successfully propagated some Scindapsus. For example, this one, the Scindapsus Exotica, which honestly, this was not intentional to propagate for the fun of it or to have more. It was just as a prop for a TikTok a while back, and I didn't want to get rid of the plant because like it's so cute. Like I can't just store it away. It's so beautiful. So I ended up placing it in water, like in one of these propagations. And here's another plant that we're gonna talk about in a bit. After like, I kid you not, 4 days, I saw very nice, beautiful, thick roots growing on the, like in the water. And I was like, oh my God, like that's amazing. So I ended up deciding to pot it up. And I also, I placed this plant, this cutting, node cutting with this golden pothos cutting. I saw this cutting on the floor and I didn't want to throw it away because I felt so bad. So like I said, placed them together. After a few days of like them developing some roots, here they are in soil, which I think we did a repotting video a while back. But I just noticed as filming this video, This leaf has looked very beautiful and healthy and very nice and firm. I just look, do y'all see that? There's a new shoot coming, you guys. Like this little green guy at the tip of my finger. I'm literally so shocked and so happy. Like this just made my entire night. Oh my god. It makes me want to probably get more Scandapsus exoticas. They're so beautiful. Like you guys, like look at this. Another pretty common plants, but gosh, it's beautiful. Like I don't know what it is. The thing about Scandapsus though, like when do they have like something to go up on, to like trail up to, I'm dropping some soil. And I just finished like vacuuming the carpet, like actually like cleaning it, like with those vacuums that clean the carpet with like chemicals and shit. Sorry, I just said a bad word. Oh my god. But yeah, so it's a pretty common plant. Honestly, like a lot of trendy plants from last year are not common this year, but I feel like that's how it is every single year. Like a lot of the times, like literally like plants that are kind of uncommon right now will be common the following year, if not the other following year. Like it's the way it is. New plants and new trends come and go. But this one was another one that was very trendy back then, and now it's like kind of pretty common. You can find it in your nurseries, and I've been seeing them in the nurseries. And I always have to stop and just admire their beautiful foliage. But oh my god. And the fact that it's putting on a new leaf, like I told you, I'm not a pro with propagating Scandapsus. By that, I don't know. Y'all know. This is why I love propagating plants, and I'm pretty sure you guys can relate too. It is the best feeling ever when you make a one leaf cutting, one node cutting, or just a cutting from your plant roots and successfully become into a plant and throw out new foliage and new leaves. The best feeling ever. So yeah, and the golden pothos are just over here. So I have it together because like, I don't know, I feel like they're besties, like they're friends, because like they rooted together, so they're gonna stay together. And this really cute terracotta pot. I don't know how I love my terracotta pots. And this is the Jade. Like I said, she gave me like two pretty long vines with like pretty good vines to propagate, so I ended up chopping them by nodes. And I have this one, which is not doing that good, but it's okay though. I'm still like trying my best. And then my border fences looks really good. The leaf looks very nice and firm, just how this Exotica looked. So if his roots, I'm gonna be like super duper happy, and I'm gonna like, when it becomes like maybe like 6 months, not even then honestly, because I am planning on like spring buying some plants that I wanted to get, like for example this one, the Jade, if I don't see it in the nurseries, which there's a high chance that I will. So yeah, those are the 3 plants right now. Another really exciting propagation that I have for y'all is the variegated hardleaf philodendrons. I have my mother plants, which I think it's right over here. Can y'all see that? This one over here? It was growing like crazy. It was putting out new leaves, a new leaf every single 2 to 3 days. It was literally so insane. And I was like, if I wait like a week, I'm gonna have 2 more nodes, which means I'm gonna have 2 more plants. After seeing the vine growing, I couldn't stop, and I decided to chop it. And I always open it, but here it is. My variegated hardleaf philodendrons, and I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't want to like tilt it too much because they might fall. That little green shoot, that's a new like leaf coming in, and on the bottom of that it has some thick roots, like some white fuzzy roots. A lot of these I already checked them. I don't want to mess with it too much because I'm literally terrified that I'm gonna like disturb it or stress it out. Here's another new shoot coming in. It's doing really good. For a minute, like for 2 to 3 days, it wasn't giving me anything at all, and I was getting scared because usually with propagations and spagdemos, I have very high success rate. Everybody has their own methods on like propagating the plants. My favorite is spagdemos or water recently, because I've just been loving looking at the roots, even though I'm a little bit scared because like when you transfer water cuttings that are rooted to soil, it shocks the plant majority of the time, which means it won't grow. It's gonna put all this energia on like focusing and developing better roots, and then it'll start putting on new foliage majority of the time. And that's what I experienced personally, but I think it's worth it. Like I have this in the kitchen, and I think it looks really, really cool. It looks so freaking cool. And I'm gonna explain what happened with this one, why this was not planned. These string of pearls, those are was labels on when I bought the plants from Home Depot. But I'm super happy that I placed it in water, and it's so aesthetically pleasing. But it made roots. And over here are the variegated hardleaf philodendrons. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 5 in here. Now I do have like 3 reserved. So I have 1 for my mom, 1 for my boyfriends, and the other one I'm gonna maybe make a new plant or place it in that other plant. And the other 2 I might sell them locally. I'm not gonna ship out any cuttings because I'm scared of that. But I don't know, just to make some money back, because like that's also like a great way too. Like yes, this hobby can get kind of expensive. Just depends how you do it, and it's not a good or a bad thing, you know, saving money or spending a lot of on plants. You know your limits, you know, nobody can tell you that, like other than yourself. But it's nice to make money back. And I have other plants that I want to propagate. I'm not doing it right now. A lot of the cuttings that I have right now, it's like, this is one that I might sell some, like 2 of those cuttings or 2 of those nodes I might sell when they're fully developed. The Tradescancia is for me, for my personal collection. I love it so much. Or if somebody likes it, I'll give it to them. Like, you know, that. This is Exotica with the golden potos. This was not planned to make more plants, but it's just sentimental to me, so I'm gonna keep it for myself. I like it a lot. I don't know, it just, I get attached to some plants sometimes, which is not a bad thing. And then this jade was intentionally like for me to like, it was from a trade, and I hope I can make it root. If not, it's perfectly fine. So yes, next up, okay, this is my beginner that my boyfriend gave me, and I think it fully just rotted. So I decided I was cutting an avocado, and I kept the seed. Now I know you're supposed to place like the iconic way is like you place some toothpicks in there and you let it sit in water like semi, and it will develop roots. But I just, for experimenting reason, like if it goes bad, it goes bad. You can just throw it to the trash. There's always new avocados. Like I love eating avocados, so instead of throwing it out, I was like, let me just experiment for the fun of it and try something different. So I placed it on top of the soil and guessing if it would do something new. As of now, there's something new happening. The big one is dying off, so it's okay though. I guess we can talk about this. This is more exciting. So this is some Seal Blues, and this was intentional. I ended up propping it because I want to make a moss pole for a Seal Blue. I want to train, and honestly, these cuttings were from, geez, like 4 days, 5 days, and it already has a good amount of roots developing. I don't know if you guys can see, I'm trying to like let it focus, but yes. And as y'all saw, like there was new roots already developing, and it's super exciting. And not much into it. Like I just want to like make a set of new plants of this. There's like, I don't know how many nodes in here. Some of the leaves are drying in the water, and like in the water completely submerged, which is not really a good thing. So let's see if I can take it out. Pero I mean, there's enough cuttings in here, so some of them don't do good and just raw. I can just pull it out and, you know, save the other ones. But I'm gonna, there's like I said, like 5 in here. And when I make the moss pole and those are fully developed and they're ready to get potted up in soil, I'll place it in the soil like around the moss pole and just train it to go up to develop those iconic Super Blue mature leaves. But yeah, these are just some Super Blue cuttings that I have rooting in water. Like I said, I prefer sponging moss, but I love like propagating water because I just love looking at the roots. I'm having a phase right now. It comes and goes. So here's my string of pearls, and honestly, this was not intentional to propagate. What happened is I was moving the mother plant, and I dropped the entire plant completely to the ground. It hit the ground, and it broke a lot of the stems. Half, like 2/3 of the stems that broke off, ended up placing it back to the mother plant, and I covered the plant with a little bit of soil. So some of the stems are like covered with soil, and then I top watered it, and I'm hoping for the best for it to propagate. If it doesn't, it's fine. But it took some stems, as I can see, and I placed it in water. I don't know if you guys can see those white delicate roots. It's propagating in water, and it's already like due to get potted up in terracotta pot, which I do have some terracotta pots, and I am debating on propagating my string of pearls. There was a string of tears, but it was labeled string of pearls, so I'm gonna say it's a string of pearls. And it is pretty round to me, like, so, yes. Next up is this one, which is my Pink Splash Syngonium, which I got from River Gardens. There was only one left, and I don't even know if it was even supposed to be there, or like, I don't even know, they only had like a very few, because when I went there was only one, surrounded an entire table of like other varieties of Syngoniums, so there was only one of these. So I took so many cuttings of it. I still have the mother plant with me, and I took the first cuttings that I did, I rooted it in soil, and I gave the plant to my mom because she liked it because of the pink spots. And then I decided to take more cuttings, which I don't know if you guys can see. And you guys to see the glass containers, because This is glass. Like, this is kind of like, you can propagate plants in any container that you want to propagate in. Like, for crying out loud. This is a taco cabana bowl. And first of all, I love my chicken fajitas bowls. They're so freaking good. And I love reusing these containers. They're perfect for greenhouses. The top is clear, which light can get in. It has a tapa to retain the moisture. It has a pretty good amount of space to put sphagnum moss. It's perfect. I love it so much. I used to have so many containers and I got rid of them like a while back. But I'm gonna get back into it because I don't know, I'm getting into my propagation phase right now. Just wanna chop just for the fun of it, because I can't get enough of that feeling, like seeing those roots like develop and making a whole new plant. Like my Brazil, this was all done by nose. And if you don't believe me, then okay, let it be. But honestly, if you scroll back into my channel, I filmed a repotting video and I showed you guys exactly each of these leaves when they were babies. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but yes, these were all done by nodes. There's like, it was one long vine. I chopped it up and I ended up making two. You guys saw my Brazil. My Brazil is massive. So I took a lot of cuttings. I took like 3 long vines, chopped them up by nodes because it's my favorite way to propagate my plants, because I get more out of my buck and it makes the plant a lot more fuller instead of just, you know, chopping one stem and placing it like in the soil, whatever you prefer to like propagate your plants in. But I'm pretty patient and I do give them good light. So I feel like, I don't know, like again, I don't want to say much because like everybody has their preference, but I prefer to chop it up by nodes and give it a good amount of light. And I know like it's gonna get fuller, and as y'all can see, it's gonna get there. Like this entire vine, you guys, like there's 2 vines in here. Let me see if I can feel it. This entire vine, and then this other entire vine, which honestly this one was reverted just green. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it was like variegated. And now these entire new stems are just basically green. So, oh no, wait, honestly, maybe it's, I don't even know. It's not a bad thing though, like I really do love my philodendrons in general. This is beautiful. This is all done by nodes. It's literally insane. I love it so much. Just like, it's nothing like that fascinating because like, you know, anybody does it and everybody knows how this works, but I don't know, just seeing it in person is always super duper fun. So I have 2 now, free Brazils and 6-inch pots. And I love these terracotta pots. I love when they get like that mineral buildup. And I'm super excited. I might give these to like family members if they like it. If not, I have it in my collection. Just let it vine down like my iconic big Brazil that I have in my living room. I love, and y'all know I love my Brazils. So, and I had more cuttings, but I gave them to my boyfriend because he liked it. And yeah, I don't even know if my mom has a Brazil. I think she did, but it died off. I need to go and double check because I haven't seen it for a while. If she doesn't have one, then I'll definitely give her one of mine. I gave one to my grandma. It was like super duper like massive and big. She liked it a lot, and the last time I saw it is really big and super healthy. Like, I love my grandma. She's the one that honestly, one of the big people from my childhood that got me into plants. Just like outdoor plants in general, and a little bit of house plants. So yeah. But here's a pink splash, and there's like literally only 3 cuttings in here, because like I said, I want to put it in a moss pole. And I want to place those cuttings in there, and they're ready. Like you can see the roots. And the Starbucks drink that I just said for propagations. I kind of like it's like a vibe. I like this a lot. Like I might just get more of these. I prefer like the double shots. Honestly, the triple shots, they're a lot stronger. Like I actually feel something in my soul. But these are pretty good for like, you know, like a tea or something. And I love these containers. Propagation stations, like why gonna spend so much money? This was sent to me by the company, but they were selling these like for like $8. To each their own, girl, but I'd rather just like get me buy a mocha. These like glass drinks from Starbucks or any other container drink. And then when I finish my drink and I enjoy it, I'm gonna clean it and use it for plants. 2 out of, you know, does that make sense? I'm trying to like say a lot of things that don't even make sense at all. But yes, this is literally so ready to get rooted up. So I'm gonna make the sphagnum moss for this one and for my Ciba Blue because it's getting ready as well. And honestly, maybe my Brazils. I don't even know because it's so full. There's so many plants in here, like so many nodes. So it's gonna be, and it was intentional, like I want this to become a very full plant. I was gonna have some Julipotas that ended up propagating over here, but it's very back there. And they're not doing that much. Like honestly, some Julipotas are pretty slow. Like they don't grow that fast. But they are putting out new shoots and they're propagated by nodes, and that makes me super duper happy. It's just they take so long. I am giving them enough light. I don't water them that much because, like I said, I don't see that much growth, so I don't feel the need to water it a lot. I only water it when it's dry, like bone dry, because like, you know, that. Maybe that's the reason why it grows super slow, but even then, they grow pretty slow. And then we have two more. So this is a Philodendron Violin, I believe, and this is a top cutting. At first, it wasn't doing nothing at all, and this is one that I have like next to my coffee machine, which it does have a grow light. And honestly, like the grow light that I got sponsored with, like the grow light is super duper good. It's where this can adapts. It's in the kitchen. These plants, I have no windows in my kitchen. Like the windows, the light that hits through those windows is super far. Like that kitchen is pitch black. Thus, this is all these are getting is grow lights. You know, like the one that I got sponsored with. I might buy more of those because they look super duper cool. Like the ring, and my plants are loving it. Like they're doing so good. And this one, like it wasn't doing anything. Oh, the damage. The reason why I'm saying this was in the kitchen because this is from the coffee machine by accident. I know, I still feel bad, but it's okay though. It's still pushing out a new leaf. It got burned. I guess like a little coffee drop fresh out of the coffee machine or bounce or something, and it hit the leaf and it burns it. But this guy wasn't doing anything for me for the longest period of time. I'm guessing because it was developing new roots. But this is a top cutting. I have the mother plant somewhere here, but the mother plant, it was just one plant coming out, and because I chopped it, there's like 3 new shoots coming in, which means I'm gonna get more of a fuller plant. But this top cutting, it's putting out a new leaf, and I had it propagating in water as well. After like a week, I saw roots, and I placed it in soil. This is like a new leaf. So this is a new leaf over here, and it's that little like line over here, like little. You're saying it's a new leaf developing as well. It's super duper cute. It's like so adorable. It's so small, so you can see it better right there, like in the very middle. I'm super duper excited. And I might give this one to my mom, to be honest, because she doesn't have this plant. And I think it's super duper pretty and very easy to look after as well. It's not very finicky. And I think she will love it. So I'm gonna let it grow a little bit more, make it look a lot more nicer for her, and then give her this one. It's so beautiful though. And lastly, but not least, is my Monstera Salty Picana, something like that. I took nodes, cuttings, you already know. That's the only way I propagate my plants. And I took some nodes, and here is a plant. Very slow. It's super, like maybe I'm not giving it everything that it wants. I try to give my plants a good amount of, a good grow light, a good amount of light, warm temperatures, which is why I have my heater. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it. I have this guy on, like, I have it off right now, but I have it like on a like automatic, so it doesn't get too hot or too cold. I have a pretty humid room, not that humid, but it's always like 60% humid in here. In the day, I try to like leave the door open, like get it to 50%, like it drops to 50% humidity, but nothing lower than that. If I don't do anything, the heater is on in here. I noticed that I can get up to like the 70% humidity, which back then I thought it was like nice because the plants do appreciate it, but mold happens, and I saw a little bit of mold on my terracotta pot. Like it wasn't cute. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, no. So I've been a lot more careful. I'm always inspecting my plants, and I always am looking at my terracotta pots. And since I've been having the plant room like 50, like in the high 50s, low 60% humidity, I haven't seen nothing anymore. So I think that's the spot for my plant room. But yeah, this guy is super duper slow. Very beautiful though. It's stunning. Like it's gorgeous. Hold on. Okay, I have time because I need to edit this video and it's supposed to tonight. It's very, very pretty. It did put out new leaves, as you guys can see, and I propagated it by sponging the moss, not in water. So that's a new leaf. And I hope it can get like, you know, nice and big. I also might give this to my mom because I already have the mother plants and I don't need that many plants, you guys. And I wish I'd like help my mom, her collection grow. I don't want to overwhelm her, so I wish I'd give her plants that are pretty, very easy to look after, even though she makes time for her plants and she loves taking care of them. So even if a finicky plant, she has calatheas that are thriving in her home. Like, she's amazing. And people always ask me like about a tour for her collection. We're like in the talks with it, like we go back and forth at it, but yeah, like I want her to like, you know, film, but I don't want to push it on her because that's her home, you know. And I get it that some people don't want to share their personal space because it's a lot. Like people don't get it. Some people don't get it. Like it takes a lot of out of you to like share what you do and put yourself out there in the internet, your home, your stuff, everything, like what you do and what you are, and the internet, just for people to watch and sometimes criticize, unnecessary criticism. But in my channel, I do accept it, and I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm setting myself up to, and I do appreciate the criticism, you know, the good kind of like stuff that improves my content, like don't move the camera too fast, you know, stuff like that. I do appreciate that a lot. But that's basically all the plants, and honestly these Brazils makes me super duper happy, and these terracotta pots, like this mineral buildup, is beautiful. Like I wish, and this is why I love terracotta pots, it's so natural, just so earthy. Like I love that. I love my home to be earthy tones, and I love to use like white with like wood, you know, I think it's like boho, something like that. It's very basic, but I like it a lot. It's very cozy. I love the way it feels. But sometimes you can always stick with that like aesthetic because it gets expensive. But I do my best. And that is basically it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this new video. I am super duper excited for the spring and to propagate more plants and to order more plants. I know my limit, and I don't know, like I just can't get enough of it. Like I love my plants so much, all of them, and yeah, like I don't know what else to say, but I'm beyond grateful to everybody that is joining me in this fancy journey. And also for my San Antonio people, like my Texas people, hope you guys are staying warm and safe, and everybody else as well, even if you don't live in Texas, like hope you guys are staying warm and safe. So I'm sending positive vibes to each and every single one of you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.